Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time to be here. We have Ivan in the comment section. Again, this is going to be a text AMA. You guys know we don't do these text AMAs often, but Caesar was pretty impressed by what he saw with regards to the website and the branding on this one. He liked the concept and he said it looks pretty clean for a sole project. It definitely has some potential to run. Would you be open to doing a text AMA? I did a review. I like what I saw. It was pretty early on. So you know what? Ivan is the first official text AMA here of the year in 2024 at Caesar's Calls for his project GPU Inu. Again, these guys are looking to be the next alpha dog in crypto. That's a little bit about the tagline. It's a lot of fun here, what they're building out. Anybody who's following the space and the larger scheme of things, we did feature a call for a project with the ticker symbol GPU last week, and that's hit 85 million. So GPU Inu, I think, from just an unrelated standpoint, can definitely catch some hype potentially off of that and run up. But yeah, no, I like the name here. I like the branding and the chart for a Solana play. Anybody knows if a Sol project can kind of start off well within the first 72 hours and hold past that, it's got a chance to get some legs. So, Ivan and his community over there at GPU Inu have been doing a great job initially. Again, liked him personally. Seems like a very laid back, pretty chill guy, which is good. Community was really understanding when the AMA had to be delayed yesterday. So I do have to give a big shout out to the community from GPU Inu, just for being supportive of your founder over there. And yeah, without further ado, I'll say that's going to kind of conclude the VC introductory component for the project here at GPU Inu. The meme component, as I said, I think it's really clean. The branding, the website all look really good, which is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm going to go back and Ivan, thank you so much for the introduction, a little bit more on your experience within crypto and especially on the meme side of things. And I agree. It's really an interesting one, and I touched on it briefly in my introduction. Anybody who caught our AMA with reversal, you guys would have seen their call for GPU, which is Node AI. So again, it hit 85 million market cap today. And as we've seen, like this one's not related, but as we've seen, if one or a bigger play can run, oftentimes if there's some relation or a trickle down effect, it will come down to these projects below it. So, GPU Inu just off that alone has positioned itself nicely from a naming standpoint. So yeah, again, I'll jump right back in there to the comments section to kind of update you guys. And he said, every category needs an Inu, and we are the Inu of the GPU AI category. And yeah, it's funny enough you say that because we actually hosted another project for space on Monday, and their name is Annie Inu AI, and it's kind of 100% accurate. So you two, like they're on ETH, but you guys, on Sol would kind of be that mover. Well, they're on multiple chains, but you guys would be that mover potentially, running on that tech slash memeability platform or standing. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. Let's go. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think, I'm hoping we could get the guys here at GPU some coverage there on Twitter because, yeah, a project like this, definitely Twitter, Solana would be a really good fit. I know, with Ivan, with the translation and everything like that, I told him if we could maybe set up a space, even if I just like go in there and give him a little bit of a here's a little bit about GPU Inu. Check it out, join the community. I'm definitely going to see if I can do something like that maybe for them next Monday on meme culture.
Yeah.
I've been clearly very in touch with this sector, with this side of the market, and we're starting to see why, from his early responses, even why, branding out a project, classified as GPU Inu makes sense for somebody, with his background. So he thought about creating a sustainable meme called GPU Inu, as well as GPU running has a potential to impact positively the branding and get us some additional hype. So Yeah, no, good market identification there, Ivan. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about following the breadcrumbs, I think, in this space sometimes. And people who are savvy and people who are quick and able to kind of pick up on those little tidbits, we'll call it, can often be successful.
Well, I'll be seeing Ivan there at the NVIDIA conference in Cali on the 18th, so look out for me.
Speaking of which, Ivan said, maybe if all conversations go smoothly over the next little while, they may be, on the panel of sponsors for the upcoming conference.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, personally, really cool to see that Ivan's, trying to take that approach. It is outside the box, and you guys know me. Outside the box, road less traveled. I like that approach. It's not as quick of a return sometimes, but if you can get the traction on those avenues, I mean, a lot of the times the success speaks for itself when you see people go down that route. So yeah, that's really interesting to see that they're trying to sponsorship on that. I mean, from a credibility or a brand recognition standpoint, yeah, that would, I mean, really get their logo out there, get their name out there, and then, as they have that GPU component with, as I said, NVIDIA, some of the larger tech things. I mean, the concept of AI and semiconductors is really a big topic for 2024 as well, for anybody who's nerdy like me and cares about the flow of semiconductors across Southeast Asia into North America for our technology and cars. But yeah, like some really interesting stuff happening, I think, in 2024 overall in the larger scheme of things. And NVIDIA is definitely a player within that. With that, as we know, memes to become successful long term or even midterm have to develop a brand identity, would be the best way to phrase it. And then, once you have an identity, the people, because there's some connection to the community outside of just a chart. There's some emotional connection starting to form. They're more willing to hold, and that's when you get those kind of charts that will sit dormant and then pop, and people are like, well, who held that? It's like, well, the people who held it are the people who actually knew what the heck they were holding. So yeah, again, I know it's less than a week old from the chart, guys, so make sure you keep that in mind. But the concept is pretty good. I do like the fact that, like, the Silicon Valley dog, that's kind of a cool comparative. I like that narrative, actually. So if you could build up a story around, being the dog of Silicon Valley, right? The dog of the tech world. Like, what's Buck, what's that show I'm looking for? It was Silicon Valley, wasn't it? Like, that's what it's
Silicon
called
Valley, yeah.
on
Yeah, yeah.
HBO.
Or HBO.
Yeah,
HBO, yeah.
back in the day. I only watched the first season and a half with, like, the Stainer dude from She's Out of My League as, like, one of the main
Yeah,
guys.
man, I've been watching it recently. I'm on like season 6.
Oh yeah, I only watched the first season and a half. I watched it at university with my roommates. One of them was really into it, so but then he moved out in our second year, so I fell out of touch. Love the approach, very unique. Could definitely take off if you get the right branding and story built around it. I'd mentioned, you can build up some comic strips or more of like a short form video series depicting, the journey or life of the first crypto dog in Silicon Valley. Yeah, could have a lot of fun with that from like a storytelling perspective, which is then going to increase the brand's, viability and yeah, it's just, it's cool. From what I've seen, at least so far, this would be the first scheduling adjacent product, and it's definitely cool. I mean, we've seen what things like Palm Pilots did back in the day to help people's time management skills. There's been little iterations of, from a convenience standpoint, these tools coming out to help speed things up, and you never know, maybe this is that iteration for DeFi or crypto. So, it's still less than a week old. It's our first time working with the team, but the identification of the branding and, I always like to look at potential. Hopefully everything has potential, right? And that's why we're bringing it in. So I think it's cool. It'd be a first mover in that sense. And again, unless I'm wrong, because I'm not sure, but yeah, it would be a first mover, would have some cool layers to it in terms of DeFi, real life, usage. So no, very, very good stuff. Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's the project's good. Like, I mean, the charts held well above, like, and it stayed above. It's not like it went. This is the thing with Sol. Projects hit a couple million all the time. But what happens on Sol is it seems like projects go to like 2, 3 million right away. And then like I see them within a couple of hours and they're back down to 180K. And I'm like, what? How does it go to 2.4 million and then 180K like 3 hours later? I'm like, that is a pump and dump, right? So that is the issue with Sol. The nice thing about this is it went to a couple million, stayed in the couple million range. You know, keep it up, Ivan. I like what you're doing. I like the branding. It has that kind of tie to the bigger Node AI project, which is on a hot run right now. And as we've seen with plays like, you know, Trump and then some of the RFKs, and then, you see Whiff and Bonk, and the trickle down effect is you maybe don't flip the original, but if those metas and those runs continue to happen, like your multiplier is still going to go up. And I think that's kind of like your approach, right? So great job. Really enjoyed it. Super clean branding. Yeah, great job on the presentation. And again, as you guys start to onboard, some English speaking members, I told you, reach out anytime. Would be happy to get you on one of those spaces that we do. And again, you guys kind of walk that line of meme and utility as some of your tools come out. So, whatever you showcase you guys would prefer, meme, utility, just let me know. And if you have a speaker come on board in the future, Ivan, I'd be happy to give you guys some extra exposure and bring you guys on a couple of different spaces.